Hello, welcome to Looking Through the Glass. Again, no camera because you do not need to see what we look like. so, we were sitting here and we're wondering and trying to figure out what to talk about. And then Giselle read this.
You handled it so well, in quotations. Did I? Did I really handle it well, or did I just hide it well enough for you to think I'm okay? I wonder what they would say if they knew how often I've cried out to God, please, just help me get through this. Maybe I look strong to the world, but inside, I know I've only made it this far because of God's grace. He's the one who's been holding me together when I thought I would fall apart. So, no, I didn't handle it well. God did. And He's still handling it because without Him, I know I wouldn't have made it this far.
That is literally like that. And I was just talking about the seizures and stuff. We were just talking about, there was things talking about seizures and this and that. I was sent something about it, and I was just told, I don't know how to
Where the
explain
fuck did that come from?
that. What that said, what that was saying, that's where it hit me.
Is it your seizures?
Yeah, and how many times I cried out to God to just make it easy on me, and I'll quit. And how much I cried out to God to just help me get through this, to help me
Are
get through
you
that.
basing this on how people have said you handled it so well?
I don't know what the fuck they said if I've handled it well or not.
Well, I asked because this is when I'm reading this, I read it as somebody,
Saying, "Oh, you handled it so well." You
but
have
they.
no idea what I've been through or how I had to handle it because I was alone.
I know there was a conversation between you and Grandma, and about coming out and saying you told her the situations that we were in, and she didn't know those were the situations we were in, and um, from a younger age and even to up to, until you had your when you were having your seizures, she was not very supportive and she was not very aware of the fact that you really truly were having seizures. It was like she saw it as a way of, and she's not here, I'm not bashing her, I'm not, talking down on her. I This was a perspective that I saw,
This is
because
an outside perspective.
was a perspective that I got from her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would tell her mom's having seizures. Oh, okay, whatever. Like it was blown off. Like it wasn't. She went. It was kind of like Sela stopped putting it all on Giselle,
Mm-hmm.
and that wasn't the case. You weren't wanting to put it on me. You weren't trying to put it all on me.
No,
It wasn't not the. You were not faking it.
I held so much guilt and shame because I had to put it on you because I didn't have anybody else there.
And what distanced me so much from not from family was that a lot of them were not recognizing the fact that you were facing these trials.
Yeah.
And that happens to me even now. They're not recognizing that I am facing trials as an adult. They may not have faced those same trials, but they look at me like, get through it, or you're handling it well. I might be showing you that I'm handling it well, but I'm not. I am breaking down, crying to God, begging God to just help me get through this another week. Let me get by another day. Let me be able to provide. Don't let another thing happen, please. Because I can't. I'm like, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as I discussed earlier, I finally was just like, it'll be figured out. For the first time in my life, 27 years, I did this as a kid. And I know that's not a long time for some people. But for me, I grew up at a young age.
Well, yeah.
And
There was a lot of shit thrown in our faces, and people couldn't say it's yes, my decisions put us there, but there was the reasons why I made decisions, why I made them, and I don't have to answer to anybody for them. You understand.
you and I, like I've said before, and I've said it on camera, why the fuck did they get to determine what our relationship is? You and me determine what our relationship is.
Oh, yeah.
These people, yeah, we went through hardships. Yeah, you made those decisions, but they can't tell me how to feel about you.
Or
Well,
how
they-
to feel about the decisions I made.
Or the
Or-
way I grew up. Because guess what? That's me. For me to
That's
decide.
our relationship.
Exactly. They get to butt out. Now they need to be questioning my relationship with them at that point. If they want to sit here and to put claims into how
And to
I
put
feel
judgments
and put judgment into how I feel about my mother, about how my relationship is with my father, my mother, my siblings. That is not for them to determine. Let them feel that way. Let them think that they can have control over that. That's fine. But guess what? At the end of the day,
nobody can
nobody-
say anything.
no, because it is my mind. There's no manipulation. They cannot manipulate me into feeling a certain way because
Somebody's trying to keep that from coming out.
they don't deserve to put judgment on my relationships with my family, on me, on my mom.
Or put judgments on the reason why we made decisions, or the decisions that I made, because they weren't there.
Because they now try to put judgment on my decisions now, because they're carrying on that same judgment that they had on you
Onto you.
onto me. You know what?
That's something that I never hid from you, and I've always was like,
You let them show them for who they are, but
Yeah.
you never talk bad. And
I don't. It's not.
I'm not
for
talking
me.
bad about them now because I'm not speaking negative upon them. I am speaking upon my truth. On
Yeah,
how they made me see them.
yeah.
They are the ones that made me see them in that way. And that is on them. Now they want to take that time to repair. And I've probably said this a couple different times in several different ways.
Hold on. I got children to handle and put into place. Hey, what are you doing?
Because Nolan had told me to clean up the things, and I told him, and he told me the pillows got from the closet, and I saw the pillows were his.
I'm in the middle of a live, and you need to not be arguing about stupid things. Do you understand me?
Yes.
I would greatly appreciate it. Now, do what you need to do, and take your loud butt out somewhere and quiet it down. Understand me?
Yes.
Thank you.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-da.
Intervention! Sorry.
Let's hopefully I can keep on.
Yeah.
Because I think that was supposed to be ignored. They can handle it on their own.
Yeah, well, go on.
But you've never spoken bad about anybody. Nobody, not a single person. Now you've had comments to say about how you felt about the situation because of how they were treating you. But I saw the way they treated you.
Mm-hmm.
It may not have been, and that could be a little wrong of me because I base my relationship with them because of how they treated you in the past. But I also look at it as something as to this day, those same people have started putting that treatment towards me of how they treated you.
Mm-hmm.
Where to place your money, how to manage your money, how to manage your life, how to eat, how to live.
Mm-hmm.
They need to stop trying to control other people's lives and think of their own.
Mm-hmm.
I control my life. If this is the route I want to take, then let me take it.
Yeah.
if this is a route that I may maybe I'm going down the wrong route, but don't try to control it. Be suggestive. Be more of a supportive help and say, hey, I noticed this and I just wanted to let you know, can I give you a little advice? If I tell you no, I don't want to hear your advice, then clearly I'm done with your shit. Because I am a person who likes to listen to advice.
Mhm.
But sometimes that advice is so repetitive, I'm tired of hearing it.
And this is the thing, is nobody understands your road. Nobody understands what you're being told and what there's and this is something, my personal is there was a judgment based on that. I don't know, based on, because I was struggling with the relationship and not knowing how to handle things. And then there was judgment on, oh, I just gave up on life. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like, how do you come to that conclusion that a person just gave up on life? Like they just wanted to be a piece of shit.
And the approach on it, that would make somebody to want to give up on life, because you can't please them no matter what you do and what you say and what you've done. There was no change.
Oh yeah, no, it didn't matter. It was, every decision that I had made was wrong. And by one person or another.
And that's how it was always. And then it didn't help that you had somebody always bad mouthing you, no matter which way they looked. And I know this because every time I went and got into their vehicle, that's all they did.
Yeah.
And other people, I was surrounded by so many people who were just negative towards you. And I never,
in particular,
and it was just you in particular. It wasn't just,
and it's still, even, and like you said, it still even melts in today. But there's a reason why there it is. There's a reason, and I understand that, and I don't hold it against anybody, and I recognize that they were just doing their job.
And I give you so much credit on that, because it's so hard to see how these people treated you for literally your entire life. And at one point, yes, the relationships were okay, they were good, they were fine, and then there was times where it wasn't, and that happened between you and me too. Yeah. There was a point where we were good and we were fine. There was points where we were on the brink of killing each other.
It's relationships, and I didn't necessarily know how to communicate in the healthiest ways.
And once I raised that way either.
And once I started focusing on different things is when you and I started getting along better.
And we did. And, there was still a lot of growth for our relationship, and you were still trying to learn to not be the narcissistic mother. Like,
I am a narcissist.
You still are a narcissistic mother. And
I fully know this.
And you recognize it.
But that's why I go to other people and go, okay, was I messed up in this?
Because, at one point you weren't like that. At one point you were not a person that I could go, Mom, that really fucked with me. Or that part of that child in me is still not healed from, the shit that's happened.
And I can tell you what it was. And that was my own shame. Now that demon that I was talking about, I don't hold shame for it anymore. I just go, damn, I'm sorry. And that I just hearing it doesn't hurt me.
I've been waiting for the day to be able to do that with you, to be able to tell you that freaking hurt. Yeah, that was something that I am, I can't deal with.
And there's some things that you're still healing on.
Yeah, and that's something I'm like, I can't deal with yet. And I appreciate that I can now do that with you. and I can share it with the world.
Will you close the door? Thank you.
Sorry. And
Do you want some of this?
yes, I'm gonna want some of that. But I just feel that this quote or this description really goes into depth on, you know, not just family but friends and people that are from the outside. We are not handling it well. We are
Just
literally
faking it.
because we don't want other people looking at us and judging us because we want to break down for 5 seconds. I literally, there's times where I just want to sit there and bawl, and I have people around me and I can't because it's just that it was another thing that just was on my plate, another thing on my chest. And I'm like, why? But then
I wanted to show you. This is why the seizures and stuff. When Jocelyn used to always read the bedtime stories to me, because I was in bed all the time, and that's when they would have to come in there and hang out with me. Sorry. I don't know exactly what I'm crying over.
You're crying to cry.
And there's like 5 different things that went through my mind, and I'm just like, what route do I want to take this? I don't want to be sappy and negative, you know, because that's not what this is about. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody, but I know I've gone through stuff. I know the seizures, the darkness, and all of that I had to suffer. There's a reason for it, and whatever that reason is, I'm thankful for it, because maybe I would have never been. Well, yeah, I wouldn't be here right now having this discussion with you and being able to just talk and not hate myself because I made mistakes.
Yeah.
Not hate myself because I've caused injuries to you. I've caused injuries. I'm a human being, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm looking at it is, was I wrong? Yes. Did I know I was wrong? Possibly. Did I know how to break it? No. But I know I can break it right now. And by breaking it is by no longer being so egotistical and allowing my ego to get in my way of hearing you go, no, that fucked me up.
And I know that there's times where you would just hit the right nerve. That nerve and it triggers my traumas with you. And because we fought a lot. We were always fighting, and you would always strike that right nerve that would just set me off and put up a complete defense on you, because it's like, I am prepared for anything you're gonna fucking hit me with now. And you know, because there was just always negativity surrounding us. And that's the thing is, I don't blame you completely. I'm gonna blame you on some things, but I'm healing over that. I have forgiven you on all of it, and well, most of it. I'm not gonna say all of it. Most of it.
I was gonna say all of it.
most of it, because there's still things that I will face and I will heal through.
Yeah,
in my right time.
and there'll be times I'll be getting phone calls or whatever, and you'll yell at me or whatever. Okay.
But I know that you were not fully completely the number one person to blame either. there was other people who had parts into
Pushing me to my edge.
pushing you to the edge and pushing me to my edge because they were trying to get me to hate my own mother.
Mm-hmm.
They were
And they were pushing me to my edge to turn me into what they wanted me to be.
a piece of shit alcoholic drug addict mother. That they were hoping for you to be that parent.
Mm-hmm.
And you were, even though you may have been on and off with the drugs, you were never a horrible deadbeat mother. Yeah, we got physical. Yeah, there was a lot of fights between us, but you always made sure there was a roof over my head, clean clothes, the best that we could, food in my stomach. You always made sure I was taken care of. And we would always come back around somehow, some way, because that's just who we are. We would always recognize where we went wrong and we'll get through it. And, we do it a lot faster than we did then. But I know there was a lot that you were facing. I may not have understood at that age, but I do understand looking back.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was things that those people were going through that they were facing that I may not have understood at that age, but I understand looking back. Mm-hmm. Adulthood is not fucking easy. And it does not help when I can't imagine the pressure that you had from other people who were not supportive, who felt that they may have been supporting you in that situation, but were not being that supportive in reality. They were supportive in their reality, but not in ours. There was only a few.
Yeah.
And they were on and off with it.
Yeah.
And then you had those who just were never, and it was always stipulated. There was always a stipulation into family, being family.
Mm-hmm. And I don't do stipulations very well.
You and Joey have both. Joey has shown me what a father is.
Oh, yeah.
I only had a couple men in my life that were true father figures, but they weren't around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I was around, my uncle,
mm-hmm.
he would show me different things. He was.
There's nothing better than being told thank you for being you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was Bill.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't always around, we lived with him. We lived with him. I have one memory of me running through the garage.
He's like, ah!
There was one memory I have of me running through the garage with a tape diaper on.
Oh my gosh.
And all the parties and, the way the community worked together. He saw that. I got to see that from a young age because of him.
Mm-hmm.
The way that everybody came together and had a good time and could continue to have a good time. I had those memories, and then having a somewhat of an older sister view.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I have such a big sister now, is because I got that feeling of being a younger sibling.
Yeah, because you are a lot like how she was with you. Yeah, you are a lot like how she was with you.
And so,
I can see that.
then I had somebody who I lived with in Oklahoma who showed me what a father figure should be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I met Joey, I'm like, my standards were high, but not that high. And it would not even a couple weeks. I was, baffled with. I was like, this can't be real.
Right.
he showed us a world that I never thought we would ever get. He showed me a relationship with a man that I thought I would never get.
I agree.
God damn, I wasn't trying to cry.
Huh?
No.
Oh, you're trying to.
I'm just beyond thankful.
He's like, you got me crying.
I'm sorry. It's Mom's fault.
He definitely never gave up on us.
And I'm so thankful now to have somebody, two parents that can be so supportive and go, I don't care what you do on your time. Like, I love you. You're my kid. You need help. I'm here. You know, that's what family's for. We're here to help each other. We're here to, you know, I may not be happy with your decision, but that's your decision to make. And he shows that. And he, you know, he'll teach us. I have a question about something I don't understand. Then he's the first person I call. Hey, I don't understand this. He's like, yeah, I'll explain it to you.
Mhm.
You know, how the house and taxes and the property taxes and all that. I'm like, I don't understand that. He's like, bring it over. I'll try to help you understand it. And, you know, it is great to have somebody like that wants to help you understand the world. And then I have two people. Even though we faced all that shit, you still turn out to be somebody who wants to support and help your kids. Because you didn't want your kids to face what you faced.
Yeah.
And yeah, I faced a lot of it, and you hate that I faced a lot of it, but I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be who I am. Yeah, these kids are spoiled, but at the same time, they are some of the most selfless and loving kids. They're supportive and they're helpful and they're intelligent, and you know,
And they've got great hearts. And
you show that you don't have to be hard to raise kids. They do not have to face the same traumas we had to face
Mhm.
to have a good relationship with them and them still turn out to be great kids. Yeah, we went through our trials with them too. They've gone through their trials, but they went through them at a younger age. And so it was a snap of a finger and everything's better.
Mhm.
Oh,
Release it, girl. Release it.
damn.
Speak it. I agree. There was a lot of misunderstandings, is the best way I can put it. Because I don't want to attack anybody. There was a lot of misunderstandings and there was a lot of not listenings.
Did I say 2 or 7?
2.
I was gonna say 7 people.
One is he's like, let it out. There was a lot of misunderstandings, and you know, they were also dealing with their own traumas from when, you know, and I don't think any parent wants their kid to go through what they went through. And sometimes we just don't know what the right route is to take. But I'll put it to you this way. I know God put us through every single bit of that for a reason.
This is really good.
I know. Whatever that reason is, I don't know. I asked them. It is to make me, me. It is to make you, you. And it is to help us to impact other people out there that may have possibly gone through it or help them keep from going through it. Who knows?
I was just about to say something like that. Like, it's
the
God
reason
puts
why
us
we
through
have
what we go
looking
through.
through the glass. It is what has helped us. And here we are talking about how I've traumatized you. And I'm going, I hear you. You know, maybe we're going to teach other people how to do that. I don't know.
I don't know what it's truly for, but
I think
I
it's
do
for
know-
all of it.
it's for a lot. It's
It's-
definitely for a lot, and it's not just us. It's us as a family.
Exactly.
It's not just the two of us. It's us
not
as a
just
family.
just the two of us.
I love that
Baby,
song.
you and me.
But and I've always sat there and said, this is how I place our family. We are a family of broken pieces.
A broken puzzle. We're the puzzle pieces that don't fit just right in other puzzles. You know how they're supposed to, but they don't. They just come out a little messed up, like a little extra piece, or it just doesn't fit in that piece just right.
I feel like it's just all of our glasses. All of us had a glass that was shattered, and we don't have all the right pieces to fix back to being that perfect porcelain doll.
Yeah.
So we take it and make a creepy doll. We take these pieces and we combine them to create something all new.
And can
A
create
new
something
art.
and something beautiful. And we all.
I'm eating the rest of your food.
You are eating the rest of my food. That's okay. But that's something that Joey and I immediately knew about each other. Immediately. And I think that's one of the reasons, I think that's one of the things that gotten us through a lot, is because we know that there's nobody else out there that's going to look at it like we do with each other. We know nobody's going to, and I don't want to. He's my last relationship. It don't matter what. If I die, if I stay alive, it doesn't matter. He's my last relationship because I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. I'm not kidding.
Well, in each one of your kids are seeing something healthy, something that's growing. They see it not with just their parents, but their oldest sibling, their second oldest sibling. You know, each one of us, through each age, we are finding something different, but something positive, something new. And it started with me and finding, my life, and not everything's perfect in it, but
it is at the same time.
It is, exactly. And same thing with my brother. Not everything was perfect. He went through some fucking horrible trials too. And
but he even says he's glad it happened to him because he wouldn't be who he is. And there's a lot more that it opened up his eyes to such another place, and opened up his heart and his mind to so many different things. And he wouldn't be who he is today.
And and look where he's at. And then same thing with the other.
Yeah.
All three of us have just grown into something, from our traumas, and have become something so much more. We have grown from that. And, we didn't let our traumas control our lives.
Yeah. You guys are doing everything to heal in the best and healthiest way manner.
Exactly. And, it's trial and error all through it.
I have to be narcissistic here and say I'm very proud of my children. I really am.
Well, and
I have a beautiful family, and
my
and each one of you are literally blessings.
And my sister and the other one, no, god damn, the other one, my stomach did not want me to talk. They both are young and in relationships, but healthy relationships.
Healthy, maturely, emotional.
And that makes me proud as a big sister, because that's all I want is for them to. And I really can't wait to see them go on, because they have already emotionally healed younger than I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me very happy for them, because it's not easy doing it at their age.
No, absolutely it's not.
I'm all wet from the pool, so it's making me itchy. But it's definitely, seeing that post, it comes down to learning to not pay attention to those who want to dismiss your emotions. I'm trying to find the words.
If you think I'm doing so well, then maybe you don't know anything.
Exactly.
Because those who know that I'm not doing so well, or those, you're only seeing the facade. You're not seeing the cries to God. You're not seeing, and that man, the cries and pleas to God that I did every single day, all day long. I still am.
I'm gonna say mine were a little bit different, but I was that way at it. And I'm gonna get a little deep and real. I did that a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I bet.
I prayed and begged for God to get rid of the abusive man.
Yeah. I prayed and prayed and prayed and asked for ways.
And being a 7-year-old child praying to God. That's why watching a lot of movies with an abusive father or a drunk father in the background is so hard on me sometimes.
Mhm.
Because I know what that child is. Even though it's not my biological father, it was still a man in the background screaming, and that's all you hear.
I understand because I went through it myself.
And, now I know why. That bedroom in that 5-bedroom house that we lived in with, family, that's why that room popped up.
Is the screaming.
We would all hide in that one room while everything hashed out. And, and I had family sitting there telling me, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Everything's going to be fine. When I've already faced it a million times before.
Mm-hmm.
But it was somebody else seeing it for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And those are things that I am on the road of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that that's still a trigger for me.
I hear you. I understand. I completely understand. And
you don't have to have anything to say about it. I know it's not this isn't
I want you an apology.
I don't want an apology.
Yeah, I know, because I've already apologized for all of it.
And I have forgiven you for those things. Mm-hmm. But it is, and I'm not angry in any kind of way. I don't have any issues with it. It's
still just healing.
It's still a wound, as in it is a wound that I am facing that has resurfaced as of recent.
Yeah.
And that I am working through.
Well, I have areas in around that time too, where because we had to move into that little place, and then I was able to get a job, and I had to get a job clear across town, and I was just up at 3:00 in the freaking morning.
Was that near Craig?
Yeah.
That was next to the church.
Yeah.
See,
But it was now I'm in a studio weekly again, and I almost wasn't even like the people that moved in to the house was like way cool and stuff. They kept things for me and stuff like that. They were way, way cool because we were supposed to be out already and we weren't, and they started moving in the middle of the night.
I know. I remember waking up.
Yeah,
on the
I had to
couch.
wake you up to go get a hotel room that I didn't have money for, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was bad. But at that time I was just being told the entire time, and because I had to get up and take your sister to the babysitter on my way, and I had to be at work clear across town. It was like a 3-hour fucking bus ride. Yeah, so
And some buses didn't run that early.
and exactly, so I had to do a lot of walking, and then I had to, after work, when I got off at like 6 o'clock at night, I had to pick Jocelyn up, and then to get back to it was horrible. But the entire time I was just being insulted. I was just being told, you're a piece of shit. I fucking hate you. You're fucking nothing. You're not a mom. You whore. This and that's all it was. Just the entire time I was just being told that.
I know. There was a lot of times where you would be staying behind, like we would go to a family member's house, and that was kind of our getaway house. And we would be over there, and she would drop me off on her way to work because she would work at the bar, and
Yeah.
you would stay behind to just clean up the house
So I
and
can make money.
and make a little extra money to provide dinner the next day or whatever you needed to do.
Yeah, there was a point in time where I was getting enough money to make us hot dogs. Every chicken leg dinner was a feast for us.
Yeah. It was great to have all that.
Yeah.
And but I remember, there was different times or different points that, I would come home to a drunken man pissed off because you didn't come home with me. And she's all out drinking and have fun and being a whore and this and that. And I'm like, and I absolutely hated it. Because it turned me into
And
this.
because everybody else, you were hearing the same thing.
And then I was like, I was just with her. That's not what she's doing. I know what she's doing. She is out there trying to provide for us.
While you're getting drunk.
And that was me as, 13. I was so pissed because I'm like, you're sitting here wasting your money on fucking alcohol when you could be taking care of us 2 kids, But no, you don't give a fuck. And,
all you're doing is dragging her down, and she can't get rid of you.
And that was when I was 13 years old, and I was starting to get the balls to stand up against him because I was so done with it. Because I'm like, why are you fucking here? And it got even more because you and I would come home to a destroyed house.
Oh my God, I know.
Everything would be broken, and he ended up taking the guitar, and I was like, that was mine, but okay.
Uh-huh.
And, it was what it was. But it was just like, we couldn't have anything good or decent because it would get broken.
Mm-hmm.
And that was and then we would have to come home, everything would be destroyed, he'd be gone, and we would have to clean up. And it was just like the shittiest thing. And
it was so exhausting.
Oh my God.
I had to drive him everywhere, drive you to school, pick you up, or you would be riding the bus, but then Jocelyn, I'd have to pick her up from the babies. I couldn't get him to do anything.
No, you had to run around and do it all.
I couldn't even get him to go get butter in the middle of me cooking dinner. Remember, I would have to turn everything off, get you and your sister, and we'd have to go to the store, and he would just sit there
until I was old enough to just walk to the store for you.
Or if there was a store close enough for you to walk.
And oh my God, I remember those days. And I'm sorry y'all get to hear.
Yeah, it ain't all negative. Well, it is, but
a lot of it's negative. But there's a lot of positive.
Maybe you can understand a little bit of the crap we went through.
I mean,
remember? Oh no, I don't even want to talk about that.
What?
When we didn't have water for a month.
Oh my God. And because he would just up and take his check and do whatever with it. And there was a lot. And it was, I know there's other people who have faced it and have even
And this
faced
is
worse.
the thing. This is the thing is I couldn't get him to leave. Remember?
I know the bitch
Came back
the
very next day. It was literally, I was literally like, I would just beg God, how do I get rid of him? Get, please.
You know, maybe I might remember this wrong because he didn't say in front of you.
'Cause- No, he would never say anything like that in front of me because I would have freaking killed him. How can you manipulate a person so hard, you know?
He absolutely couldn't stand that I couldn't accept him as a father.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely
That's because he was a narcissist.
He absolutely couldn't stand that I couldn't accept him as a father.
Why would you?
And,
He couldn't stand that you wouldn't lower your standards, Giselle. That's what it was.
And you know what, he had his good qualities. I will not sit here and say not everything was bad.
There had to be something good in order for me to be around and be manipulated so much.
We had good moments. You know, he had those.
There was times that he stopped drinking and he would work on things
and he would actually be a decent person, and you know,
he would stand up for you.
Exactly. He would stand up for me, or he would, he taught me how to block.
Oh my God. But yeah, this was the demon in him that came out.
And you know, I can always hear it in his voice. That's what trips me out. Is it's so embedded in my mind, but it doesn't hurt me. It's so embedded in my mind that I get this little cocky smile and I laugh because it's like I was the problem.
Exactly. And that's the thing is it pissed him off. It pissed his demon off that this little fucking kid was more cocky, and he couldn't get that little kid, couldn't manipulate that little kid into more traumas.
I was at the point where I even turned to him and I screamed, "I fucking hate you."
Mm-hmm.
I screamed it at the top
I
of my
remember
lungs.
when he told me, and I was like, well, if you weren't such a dick to her, maybe she wouldn't say it to you.
I was 10 years old.
I remember.
He was making me sweep the back porch too. He was just making me do chores. I'll be honest. He was making me do chores, but he was such a dick about it, and the way he went about things. And I will say this: I was also the kid that was like, I know he can't put his hands on me, so there was that little part of me that
you don't say.
I know there was, because I was just like, he can't put his hands on me, but he can yell at me. But
is how you knew that he knew he wouldn't go there.
He wouldn't. And I faced him in a lot of different ways, and I did stand up for myself in a couple different ways,
and it pissed that demon off because I remember I could see his face change. I'm in the middle of a live. All right. Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
Nice meeting your brother.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. But I will say that even though through everybody talking negative and everybody who thought that they were helping, but they weren't helping in
Or
the
thought
best
that
ways,
they fucking knew me.
or thought that they knew the
They didn't know
situation.
shit about me.
And and even to this day, I appreciate what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I understand that this is their way of trying to help, but sometimes that way of helping is not the answer.
My thing is maybe you should actually look and see what the issue is before you put judgment. and before you decide how you're going to help,
They-
actually learn the situation and have more to do with the situation than just judgment.
yeah, that's definitely a way to put it.
There was and it is what it is. Like I said, that there's their own traumas that they've got to face, and I love them no matter what, and I'm thankful for what they did to help me, because don't get me wrong, I've been bailed out quite a bit. You know what I mean?
I will say this, and this might come out really fucked up or whatever, but I will say that because I faced so much of that trauma and that shit, I had a small fear in me that I was going to end up being one of those women that were gonna be like entrapped in an abusive or manipulative relationship.
I don't
But
blame
then
you.
I look back and I go, I'm like, put a hand on me, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Well, even with the person that we were talking about, it wasn't a one-way fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was never oh, I'm gonna get the crap beat out of me. No, it was me standing up against him. It was me going, I don't think so. You're not going to do this. That's how it was. It was me standing up for my house.
And that's and what I always was like, I am afraid that I'm gonna end up down that road. But
I don't blame you. I never thought that I would have.
and a lot of people do. They don't realize that they end up in that situation.
I
But
never
me-
in a million years thought that I would be one of those people.
Like I was talking to somebody and she's like, I never thought I would end up being, it's so much. I can tell somebody else to get out of that situation, but getting out of it myself is so hard.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult situation.
There's so much mental involved. It's unreal. And a lot of it I didn't heal until I started doing until I started doing research and seeing and researching his behaviors. But I'm telling you, I will put everything I've got on it. The motherfucker had a demon.
That was no. Well, I think he did too.
I know he had multiple, and I expelled a couple of them just like that. But there was this one,
because his eyes would turn black,
and it was one eye would have such hatred. This is a guy that would give up an entire extra paycheck to make sure somebody else's children would have a Christmas.
Exactly, because there was things that he would go out of his way, and there was Christmases that he was like, no, we're gonna make sure these kids have a great Christmas. And
then there was times where it just came out of nowhere.
We had the Christmas where
so it was basically, I was married to somebody that was possessed, and we had to live with that and figure out how to deal with that with his,
because there was time we have memories of going not skiing, sledding.
Yeah.
We have that memory with him, and it was a grand time.
Mhm.
We had fun. Where there's memories of us going hiking and all that, and there was good times with that. We would be fine, and then by the time we get home, it's a whole freaking switch.
Yeah, it was literally
it was a whole different person.
Yeah,
it wasn't the person that was just with us 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. And so, you never know when it came out.
No, and you don't know what you're coming home to.
Mm-mm.
There was times where you come home and he's cooking dinner, the house is clean, and then literally 5 seconds later,
and that's even without alcohol.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, 5 seconds later, shit's being thrown
and being screamed at and about all kinds of stupid stuff.
Holes in the wall, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And so yeah, that's where I agree. I do think he was possessed by something, because it was something else, and it was something I've never seen. until I mean, it's something I grew up with, but you never seen that in other households. I never experienced that anywhere else. To
Well, I
this
mean,
day.
there's alcoholics, it's common, and with drug addicts, it's common, but yeah, I don't know. It was crazy.
But I will say that
My poor husband now and still goes through a lot with the traumas.
he sees that and with both of us.
Oh yeah, the night terrors that I would have. Oh man, I still have sometimes.
Nobody would be able to wake you up without getting punched. Automatic defense. I remember one time he went to go wake you up. I'm like, you don't want to wake her up like that. Why? Because you're gonna get punched in the balls. I'm like, Mom, touching your foot. Mom, at the end of the bed. Mom.
Can you imagine how many times it took me waking up to being hurt to get that? That's what triggered was because I would wake up in the middle of the night to somebody trying to hurt me.
I know.
It was crazy shit.
Oh, thanks for listening to our trauma unload.
Thanks for not hating us. And if you do, hey, there's an email in the description. Talk to us.
Tell us how much you dislike us. That's okay.
We're cool with it. But thank you to my husband that has been talking on here. I don't know if you're still on here, babe, or not. But
thank you, Dad.
We love you with all of our heart.
Yes.
Thank you for helping us heal through all this trauma and giving us the love that we needed.
I'm not sorry for making you cry.
No, we're not. Haha. But if you haven't, hit that thumbs up, comment, share it with people that may want to hear it. But
if they don't want to hear it, still send it.
Yeah, just hey, look, if there's somebody out there that you want to get revenge on and you don't know how to get revenge on them, send them us. Okay?
We'll tell them how you feel. You'll find something along our podcast or our YouTube channel, and we'll be telling it how you feel, and then send it to them and be like, this is how you make me feel.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that would be great. Oh, yeah. Send us, if you want to tell somebody off, send us the email, and we'll put it out there. That'd be great. That'd be some funny stuff. But we are more about healing than creating trauma, but at the same time, you got to let it out.
No names.
Yeah, no. Yeah, anonymously. But or if you have had experiences with demons, like living with them, or you have some questions about it, hit us up.
You ever have
as always, I can't tell you when we're gonna go live because I'm not running this channel. God is. So thank you for listening, because you're not watching because I don't have the camera on. Just I have something to say.
No, I don't. I have pepper in my throat.
Oh, sounded like you had something to say.
I was going to say something. I was going to say, even if you faced a traumatic abuse, give us a call or text or email.
If you've faced traumatic abuse, please email us. It's not easy to get through something like that. And I really honestly, truly feel that you can't get fully through it on your own. I am not a part of a group or anything. I just have my own experiences and I would like to share them. So again, my mouse is off. Hold on.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for listening, and until next time.
Bye.
Peace out. Don't forget to love yourself.